third chance for the Bears this Sunday. Sports Talk Chicago here with Jon Zaghloul. In this video, we're going to break down the Bears-Vikings game coming up this weekend and explain why the Bears certainly have their work cut out for them. New to the channel, subscribe, set up notifications so you don't miss a thing. We talk Chicago sports daily. We also have interviews with former Bears players and members of the Bears media. Make sure you follow me on Twitter and Instagram at JonZSports, Facebook Jon Zaghloul. Want to watch more of this show? Head on over to sportstalkchicago.com. I want to start today with this. It's usually a given every year that the Bears win one of these two games against Minnesota. Doesn't matter how bad they are. Doesn't matter who's quarterback. Doesn't matter who's the head coach. The Bears find a way to win every year, one out of the two games against the Vikings. Doesn't matter how good the Vikings are, how bad they are either. Very rarely do the Bears sweep the series. Very rarely do the Vikings dominate, considering their quarterback play and their coaching situation over the past couple of years. Nothing is guaranteed this weekend. And it's very much possible that the Bears could upset Minnesota. Maybe Justin Fields goes off. Maybe finally things start to click for the Bears offensively and defensively. But as I took a deep dive into the numbers, into the situation for both teams heading into this game, I have to say, I'm not optimistic here. I've been 4-0 in my picks so far. Hopefully it's 5-0 this weekend. I don't see this going well for the Bears on Sunday. Now, there are many reasons why it won't. For one, Justin Fields has proven nothing yet, and now we're entering week 5. Will the pass protection be there for him to make plays? Will David Montgomery be back? Will the Bears run the ball at their same effort and same pace? Will Justin Fields make throws? Will Justin Fields throw a touchdown pass? That's a fair question. Will the defense pressure Minnesota and Captain Kirk Cousins? Stat from today, the Vikings have been much improved on the offensive line, but there still are some holes that need to be worked out. The Vikings have allowed 56 pressures on the season, with 33 of them coming from the interior, along with 5 of their 7 sacks given up. The Vikings have problems on their interior O-line. Will the Bears pressure it? Will the Bears call blitz? Will they find a way to get to Kirk Cousins, who's immobile, who's very much a pocket passer, and who is a good statistical quarterback, but around 15th best in the NFL? Will the defense come to play? Long-winded way for a short question. Will the defense come to play when they know they have an opportunity to get to Kirk Cousins? But here's the real thing that's going to separate this entire game. And that's going to show who's going to win or lose. Will the Bears contain Dalvin Cook? What do you think the answer is to that? The last 3 seasons, Dalvin Cook has 3,850 rushing yards. The Bears have the league's worst run defense, allowing 183.3 rushing yards per game. Dalvin Cook has almost 4,000 yards on the ground alone the past 3 seasons. The Bears right now are averaging, giving up 183 rushing yards a game. How do you think it's going to go on Sunday, and what do you think is going to be the big difference maker in this game? Bingo, Dalvin Cook. Look, if the Vikings had a mediocre running back or a mediocre run game, I would actually say this would be more even than people think. The Bears have played every opponent with the exception of maybe the Packers well. They've been in every game. They should have won last week. And the reason why I was mad about last weekend was not because they lost, but because they could have won. And they should have won. And they blew it and they gave it away to the frickin' Giants. Bums. Now you have an opportunity to try and make a comeback this weekend, but the Vikings are rolling. 3-1, new coach, new GM, same quarterback, same running back, but a couple of new pieces for the Vikings this year. A referendum, similar to what we saw last week. The Bears could have hired Kwesi Adofo-Mensah. They chose not to. I think that was a good choice, but the Vikings then got him. That's their new GM. Bears could have had him. Bears could have had Kevin O'Connell. They chose Matt Eberflus. So once again, we see a referendum here. Another situation in which the Bears are facing a team with a new head coach, new GM, guys they could have hired but chose not to. It's not to say that if the Bears lose, they made the wrong hire, but again, if you were in their shoes, you'd be coaching for your life or being GM for your life. You'd be wanting to win that game, right? Who wouldn't be? Who wouldn't want to beat their competitor? On both sides. Quasi, I'm sure would love to win, right? From Minnesota, wants to show up the Bears and show them, hey, you passed on me. Blank you. Same with Kevin O'Connell. And the opposite for the Bears and Ryan Poles and Matt Eberflus. So this game is going to be rife with expectations, with, I think, hard play, and with competition, which is a good thing. This will not be a blowout game. No question. It will not be. That said, are the Bears going to win it? Probably not. Sucks to say it, but unless the Bears somehow, some way, improve on their run defense in 1 week, don't see it happening. Not at all. You're going to tell me you're going to contain the best running back in football? And yes, I said it because that's pretty much true. At this point, I can't name another running back better than Dalvin Cook. Maybe Derrick Henry when he's healthy, Jonathan Taylor. So maybe top 3. Dalvin Cook is a great running back when healthy. The Bears are averaging 183 yards given up per game on the ground alone. How do you think this game's going to end? Kirk Cousins is going to do what Kirk Cousins does, probably 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, 2 touchdowns, no picks, and a 70% completion percentage. They're going to run the hell out of the football late. The Bears are going to have no answer to the run game. And then offensively, we don't know what to expect from Justin Fields and company. But my guess is, if last week was any indication, it's not going to be amazing. It'll be better, I'm sure. Maybe, hopefully, no interceptions, no turnovers. But when you have no protection, when you're a growing quarterback and you're making mistakes too, not going to be a good outcome. This is the Vikings game all the way. Vegas says 7-point favorite for Minnesota. I could see it. I could see Minnesota pushing that bet, right? Probably winning by 7. I just don't think the Bears are winning this game. The Bears' offense has been stagnant, and nothing's really gotten better yet. Maybe it will in 10 weeks, but not right now. And the Vikings are clicking, for the most part, on all cylinders, and that's good for them. I'm happy for them. Hey, you hire a new head coach, new GM, you stick with Kirk Cousins, good luck there, and you have a great running back, and for now they're winning, good. Congratulations. See what you do come January, but congratulations for today. The Bears are certainly not at that point. They have a lot of holes on their team that need to be fixed. That said, they have been, to their credit, competitive. Competitive to a point where I get pissed when they lose because they should have won, and that's a good sign for a team that should be rebuilding. But I don't expect the Bears to win this game. Sorry to say it. Not going to be sipping Kool-Aid again. I really don't see it. Unless somehow, some way they contain Dalvin Cook, then if you force Kirk Cousins to throw or be in the move in the pocket, you have a great chance to win because chances are he's going to throw a pick, he's going to fumble the football, or you're going to sack the hell out of him. So that should be the game plan for the Bears. And as I mentioned, the Vikings' interior offensive line does have problems. 56 pressures on the season, 33 of them coming from the interior, along with 5 of the 7 sacks given up. So for the Bears defensively, you better be blitzing the hell out of the interior offensive line and pushing in the trenches. And get to Kirk Cousins. It's not a hard strategy, it's just can you get it done? The way the Bears could win this game, I doubt it'll happen, but let's say they do. Pressure Kirk Cousins. Force Kirk Cousins to make plays. Force interceptions. Force fumble, sack the hell out of him. Then contain Dalvin Cook. You do all that, you're going to win the game. Because the Vikings will have no offensive production whatsoever. The best part is, we know the Vikings' interior offensive line is weak, so there are ways to get to Kirk Cousins. There are ways to force turnovers. So it's not impossible for the Bears to do this, but they have to execute. As we've seen all year, they just can't do it. They can't execute. Young team, rebuilding team. Some of these guys won't even be here come next year, and that it is what it is. But they're not executing. They're not supposed to, per se, but I find it frustrating when you're facing the crappy-ass Giants and you can't even score a touchdown, and you let Daniel Jones run for 2 touchdowns, that's the problem. That's why I was mad. Like, if the Bears this weekend let Kirk Cousins waltz in for 2 or 3 touchdowns, I'm going to be pissed, because Kirk Cousins is not a running quarterback. He can barely move in the pocket. And if you pressure him enough, he will make a mistake. You could do it. You could force it out of him. That's where there's going to be frustration, because the Bears have, at least last time I checked, a defensive-minded head coach. And all these players are supposed to be embracing the hits principle. We didn't see that last weekend at all. We saw none of it. As I said in my interview today with Dan Wiederer, it was anti-hits principle. It was completely the opposite of what they're supposed to be doing. Of course, it's going to be interesting to see how Justin Fields does. I think he's going to do better. I think he's going to have a decent game. My guess is 200 yards, 1 touchdown, no picks, maybe a rating of around 90. Not horrible. Very serviceable at quarterback. I could totally see that. I could see the opposite too, but I'm trying to give the kid the benefit of the doubt. You are facing the Vikings. It's not as elite a team. Certainly possible. Whoever is going to run the football is probably going to run for a lot of yards, whether it's Montgomery and Herbert, whether it's one or the other, depending on who plays. Ebner, maybe. Somebody will run for nearly 100 yards. So I can tell you right now, there will be positives this weekend. There will be things we could talk about on Monday. There just may not be as many. And this game's going to be contingent on the Bears' pass rush and their run defense. And, of course, Justin Fields and company doing their jobs offensively. But if you cannot contain Dalvin Cook, it won't matter. The Bears could put up 40 points, but they're going to lose if you can't contain Dalvin Cook and Kirk Cousins then. Something to think about. Score prediction on this one's going to be difficult, but I say the Vikings win outright 28-21. Feel like the Bears will put up 3 touchdowns. Feel like this is probably going to be their most encouraging game offensively we've seen all year, which is nice, but I don't think they're going to win. And I do believe the Vikings will put up decent points on this Bears defense. It's common sense. It's common sense to me. You're facing Dalvin Cook, and your run defense is giving up 183 yards. I mean, case closed, right? Case closed. It's easy. We can see it. We know it's coming. We're all from Chicagoland, the Midwest. It's like when you know at 6 p.m. at night there is going to be a severe thunderstorm. There might be a tornado. We know it's coming. We're just waiting for the time to come, right? Severe thunderstorm warning. Yes, we know it's coming. We know it. I know. Same thing here. We know what's going to happen to an extent. Maybe Justin Fields will surprise, but come on. We know how this is going to go. We know what Minnesota's going to do offensively. And that's going to be the biggest downfall for the Bears on Sunday. I'd love to give them more the benefit of the doubt, but defensively I can't do it anymore. You're giving up way too many yards to mediocre running backs at times. Others, pretty good running backs, but still. Hey, Daniel Jones last weekend, for all intents and purposes, was a running back, and he's sure as hell mediocre, and the Bears let him get 2 touchdowns. Scary, scary stuff. They let Aaron Jones run wild. Saquon Barkley run wild. This stuff just continues to keep happening, and now you've got Dalvin Cook, another elite running back. Do you really think, in your right mind, that the Bears are going to do something to contain him? Whatever idea the Bears brass has over at Hallisall, it ain't going to work. I'm telling you right now. So if I were the Bears, I'd try, and I would hope that you could force more passing attempts than jam the inside, the interior offensive line, and get to Kirk Cousins. That's how you're going to win. But the Vikings aren't stupid. The Vikings know how they could win this game. Run. Just run the football. Have Kirk Cousins be the game manager that he is, and let Dalvin Cook fly. And that's how they're going to win. If they have to put the ball in Kirk's hands and trust him to win, the Bears could pressure him and maybe force a turnover, force a pick or a fumble, or force Cousins to be sacked so many times that he has no idea what he's doing. So if I were the Bears, I'd do everything I could to force Minnesota to pass and then blitz the interior. But if you're the Vikings, run the hell out of the football and you're going to win easily. And that's the situation as we head into this weekend's game. I hope the Bears win. I hope they could do something. I hope more than anything, even if they lose, that Justin Fields does something, a promise for once. I know it's not all him. I know there are other problems on this team, but Justin Fields has made significant mistakes each and every week. He's missed reads. He's turned the ball over way too many times. I mean, there are so many things we could get into here. We need to see some improvement. Justin Fields has not thrown for a touchdown pass since week 1. Say whatever you want. That is unacceptable. He's the worst-rated quarterback in football. Unacceptable. There's no way you could justify to me, hey, watch out, look how good he's doing. Not doing good at all. At all. It's ugly. It's horrible. It's bad football. We need to see something out of him this weekend, no matter what. I don't care if the Bears win or lose, but I care about seeing Justin Fields win. I care about the Bears winning a game because of Justin Fields, or being in a game even. Don't even have to win. Be in a game because of him. That's what I want to see this weekend more than anything. Be in the game because of Justin Fields. Wow, he led them in a big drive in the fourth quarter. He led them down the field for a touchdown. He threw a deep pass. Let's see him do something to benefit the Bears instead of hurt them. No picks, no fumbles, no not being trusted because he can't do it. Let's actually see the Bears trust him, call plays, and let him ride and see what he can do. That's my challenge to Fields and the Bears for this weekend. If they want any idea to win, I told you how they could do it. Defensively. But offensively, we need to see something from Justin Fields. Time's ticking. So I would hope that this weekend at least we see Fields turn it on and, I don't know, throw for a touchdown at least. Something. If you're betting, I would take the Vikings here. 28-21, my prediction. Going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Thanks for watching today's show here at BPOT TV, channel 59.3 in Roku. Really appreciate the time. Remember, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Jon Z Sports, Facebook, Jon Zaghloul. Want to watch more of this show? Head on over to sportstalkchicago.com. So long, everyone.